What's up, everybody? This is Samy from Lost Society, and you are watching GRIMM TV.
I'm guessing you're pretty excited.
I am. I mean, to say it's been an eager wait would be an understatement, because, you know, for the musician always, they finish the record, or I mean, first they write the songs, then they record, and then they wait. So, you know, it's like, it's many years before they actually see the record being published, so we could not be more excited to see No Absolution finally coming out for the public.
Yeah,
it's a lovely feeling, I must say.
It was like 2.5 years or something you've been working on it?
It's been pretty much 2.5 years, maybe 3 years with the writing and everything, so, you know, it's been enough time.
Well, since we last talked, there's a couple of more singles out.
Yes.
Now. I think there were 3 quite different songs.
Yeah.
Was that kind of on purpose that you chose kind of like...
Well, I mean, the thing is that, you know, the record is going to have a theme, pretty much, you know. I mean, you can hear from the get-go that all the songs are pure Lost Society, you know. It's the heart and soul is in it. But yeah, obviously, we wanted to... You know, if there's a possibility to kind of offer the public the different sides of the theme, of course it's always a good thing. And, you know, it was clear to us from the very beginning that No Absolution, the title track, would be the first thing we want people to hear. Because it was actually one of the first songs written for the new record. And, you know, and it's just like, it's a single song. It's just, it was an easy decision. And with Deliver Me, you know, it was kind of more of the kind of old school riffing also, and, you know, the incredible face melting solos and everything. And, well, with Into Eternity, I think it was natural to have it as the third single rather than the second, because, you know, I mean, it's just so epic. So I think with these 3 songs, it gives a very good picture of the whole record. Of course, it doesn't give out everything, because, you know, you don't want to do that. You know, when people hear the 11 songs we've done, I'm sure they're gonna be pretty mind blown. At least I hope so, because, you know, I mean, now even months after recording and mixing and mastering the whole thing, every time I listen to it, I can't help but be just super proud of what we've done. And you know, I think the 3 singles give a good picture of the record, but, you know, the whole thing is always the whole thing.
Yeah, I got the album yesterday, so I listened a couple of times to it.
Awesome. What do you think?
Well, I was just gonna say, well, congratulations. It's I think a pretty impressive record.
Thank you.
And it's still very much Lost Society, but you can hear that you've grown quite a bit. Absolutely. You know, I think I think one of the good kind of, well, not arguments, but like theories is, you know, that when you're a musician and you're in a band, you put yourself out there for everyone to see. And, you know, for us especially, I was 17 when the first record came out. I'm 24 right now, and, you know, all of us are. The oldest guy's 27, but anyway, you know, the fact is that people get actually a fascinating insight to seeing you grow up during this whole, during the career. And I think, you know, it's only a natural progression that every record that we put out will have new elements in it. And I think with No Absolution, of course, you could say it is the biggest leap we've done, but I think it's also the leap that everyone expected would happen at some point. Because, you know, we're the kind of guys that in the end of the day, we don't follow the trends of music. We follow what we write, you know. We make the trends.
We make the trends. That's a good one, man. But yeah, in all seriousness, because, you know, when I pick up a guitar, I'm like, I just start playing something. And, you know, with Brain Dead, the first riff I wrote was for I Am the Antidote, the main riff. For this record, it was, I believe it was the first riff of My Prophecy. And, you know, from the get-go, you could see that, okay, so it's going to be this kind this time. Because, you know, for everyone who kind of thinks that a band always decides that now we're going to do this style of music, this style, that's bullshit. Like, at least for us, I can say that, you know. Of course, for everyone, I can't talk or speak, but for us, you know, just what happens, and you have to listen to your soul in that way. You got to listen to what's happening, because if you'd kind of write a record from the start to to the end just by listening what people want you to do, that's when you're going to be going down the wrong path. And I'm happy to say that it still has not happened to us.
I must say also that in the kind of press text that goes with your album, like you mentioned that some of the tracks you've gone like heavier than you've ever gone before, and
right.
I must say I was pretty impressed with, what was it, Worthless?
Oh, thank you, sir.
That's like, that was,
I expected that.
Well, I didn't expect it from you guys. Because you're quite well known for your kind of like speedy trash metal stuff, and
right.
in that track you kind of at times slowed it down and just made it way heavier because of that.
Absolutely, man.
Which is
because I think, you know, one of the things that some people don't like to distinguish is the difference between that if a song is heavy, it doesn't necessarily have to be super fast. I mean, like, on the contrary, you get so much heavier when you dumb it down super much. Like, you know, like the chorus riff on Worthless, you will all hear it very soon. Like the chorus riff, I mean, it's just, we made a riff, then we're like, can we make it a bit simpler? Then we did that, let's do it a bit simpler. And then it's just, it ends up, you know, with the whole kind of Pantera mentality, and then you're like, this is perfect. This is a perfect track. And it's not anything too much, but it's just enough to make it, you know, one of the most aggressive songs ever. So I think that's the magic with music and with the heavier music, because you kind of find new ways of making stuff sound heavier or softer or whatever you want to. I love it.
Yeah, I think vocally you also went quite a bit heavier than normal.
Exactly, and because also what I've been saying is, and it's for you've heard the record, that it is like at the same time it has the most vulnerable kind of singing I've ever done in my life, and also the roughest. So I think it's a good, like, it's nice when you have those both ends of the spectrum, but you still keep the storyline, you know, because for a minute on the record I don't feel like it's not making sense anymore, even though it goes through a lot of different themes and ups and downs. I think it's brilliant that way, and it keeps the listeners interested.
It makes the whole album just way more dynamic than just like thrashing around and screaming.
Exactly. And I mean, because obviously for Lost Society too, you know, we love to tour, we love to play shows. So of course, while we're writing songs, we kind of think also at some points that this would be like a great live thing, so maybe we do it this way. So it kind of, you know, when you build the songs, you kind of think of different things and different aspects, so it makes it even more dynamic. And, you know, you'll know that the live shows will have the ups and downs also. And
going on that a little bit, is there like one track that you're really looking forward to play live?
Oh, that's a hard one. You know, for a long time it was Into Eternity. And we finally got to play it now last year in the last shows of the year, and I mean it was super scary obviously in the beginning, but you know it's a brilliant song, and it was great to see that it also carries out live, because you know it could be, sometimes it's hard to pull off a song that epic and do it live, but it was super good. But I mean there's a whole lot of tracks like Non-Believer, I'm so looking forward to that. But on the other hand, also, you know, Blood on Your Hands, Worthless. I mean, it's the whole record, you know.
Yeah, of course.
We're just so proud of it, and because you know, it's 3 years, like, give or take, that we've had these songs, or we've started writing them, and from the beginning it's just been like, oh, this is gonna be so cool to do live. So you know, we're looking forward to playing every single track live. I'm sure we will.
I also think by like slowing some songs down, like adding more groove, like you mentioned Pantera earlier on.
Yeah.
And quite some songs are really like, ooh, yeah, you can hear that they're sort of inspired by Pantera.
Exactly.
I also think by kind of slowing it down and, like you said, dumbing it down, it also opens up the tracks to kind of add more of your, like, let's say, musical talent. Like some of the solos come out better because the rest of the song is so...
Definitely. I mean, one of the coolest things on the record is absolutely I'd say, like, the possibility that me and Arto, our other guitarist, got with solos, just because, I mean, it's just a fact that if you write a super fast song it kind of limits your options to what to do with your solos. So I mean, like tracks like Into Eternity, you know, we have first the twin guitar thing, and then I have my on top of the hill solo as we call it, and you know, there's Worthless with the dual solos. But even on that song, I mean, even though it is a bit faster than the others, it gave us so many possibilities to do what we want with it, and I think that's just awesome. And I mean, you know, it's going to be challenging. We've worked our asses off for perfecting those solos, so it's going to be cool to do them live and see see what our fans think of it.
And the working with Joonas influence like your
Absolutely.
songs a lot, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, from the natural fact that Joonas has been co-writing every single song on the record with us, and kind of yesterday I was just talking about it, and I kind of I compared it to the fact that we feel that we, you know, kind of, Joonas was the fifth member of the band for this project, as we would say at this point, and you know, it opened up so many possibilities. It opened our eyes in many things, because you know what we wanted to do is kind of eliminate the time in between, you know, when you release a record and then it could be a year later, 2 years later, when you're like, oh, you know, we could have done that there and that there and that there. So what we wanted to do is just eliminate that whole time period and kind of get a fresh pair of ears at once. And because, you know, with Joonas, I mean, he's like indisputably one of the most talented human beings I've ever met in my life. He's an amazing guitarist, amazing producer, amazing songwriter. And what I think was the best thing is that he understood exactly what we wanted to do with this record. So, you know, of course it influenced it a lot. And, you know, I mean, he challenged us more than anyone has ever challenged us in our lives, be it with solos, vocals, or anything. So, you know, he's a good guy. A good dude.
You can definitely like hear that you've been pushed and that you pushed yourself on this album.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And because, you know, it's always, you can kind of think if someone was to say that, you know, when you bring in someone else who's usually done different styles, it's easy to say, oh, okay, so he made you change your style. But the thing is that, you know, even if you would bring a top, like an epic producer, you know, who's done Beatles, he can't push you to make songs that you don't know how to write. It's just, it doesn't work that way.
That you just
so, you
don't
know,
want to play.
Exactly, no, and I mean, because everything that you get that gets pushed out of a human is something that's in you. You don't just like create it from nothing, but it's stuff that's inside you. And you know, like for us, obviously we love, you know, Pantera, we love Slayer, but we love Deep Purple and Kiss, and we love Amy Winehouse, Ghost, anything. So I think the perfect way of creating something absolutely unique is by doing something that many people maybe just don't want to do and mix up a lot of different things. And I think that's why No Absolution is an absolutely monumental album in our short but great career so far.
That was a good one. No Absolution is absolutely...
It's poetic.
You got to work with Apocalyptica.
Yes.
How did that happen to be?
That was an incredible thing. Also, it was the track Into Eternity. We had done about, say, 3 or 4 versions of the song during pre-production, and we had the final version that we were going to be recording. And you know, we just loved it. It was something we've never done before. It had, you know, the beautiful acoustic guitars, the melancholic and really dramatic screams and everything. And I remember Joonas was in Italy. He was on vacation a week before we went to the studio, just to, you know, kind of clear his mind. And we were at the rehearsal place one day in our hometown, and he calls me up and he's like, hey, I had this idea. What if we make this song even bigger and we ask if Apocalyptica could join? And I was like, yep, let's do it. You know, it was one of those moments where you heard the song already in your head, and it was just like, I knew it at once that this would be something incredible. Then, I mean, that's it. I went downstairs, I told the guys, or I asked them what they thought about it. They were like, yeah, let's do it. And, you know, I mean, long story short, it was a few emails, a few phone calls. And I remember we were recording the record, and I got a call from our manager who said that all the details had been done and it's okay. and we were like, okay, this is gonna be the coolest thing ever. And you know, it was like we were, in a positive way, we were super shocked. You know, we were all quiet, and we were like, okay, this is gonna be something incredible. And you know, I mean, because it's the first featuring that Lost Society has ever done, and I think it was instrumental that it's with someone who is super unique. And of course the fact that it's a Finnish band, you know, a Finnish metal band who has done something so incredible for the whole music scene, it was super important to us, and we were just so happy we got them on board. And you know, they're great guys, absolutely great guys. We love their music, they like our music, or love our music. I mean, I can't say they love it, but at least they like it. But you know, it turned out to be something we couldn't have even dreamt of. So you know, it's a great track. And what I've been saying always is that if it would happen, it won't happen, but you know, if it would happen that the band ended tomorrow, we could sleep well knowing that we left the world something absolutely unique and absolutely incredible. Yeah. But rest assured, we're not ending.
And you kind of get the added bonus to that most likely some people will have picked you up now because
absolutely
name is attached.
I'm sure. I mean, it works. Well, of course, that way at least, that, you know, people who love Apocalyptica might have found us. And, you know, I mean, because, of course, we're a much smaller band, but, like, even if one person who, for some reason, wouldn't have heard of them, hears them after us, then I'm super happy, you know. It's brilliant. And, I mean, it's such a good band. Yeah. No one can deny that. Absolutely incredible.
I still remember when I was a teenager buying the Metallica by Four Cello.
Oh, right. That's awesome.
I played it quite a few times. Well, best of luck with your album.
Thank you so much, man.
I think it'll have quite some success, in my opinion.
I hope so. And you know, please check out our new record. We're super proud of it. Hopefully you find something you like in it. 21st of February, No Absolution.